All right, welcome folks to this very sunny but still very windy Thursday afternoon here at Pioneer Valley Regional High School baseball fields. Boys Varsity Baseball, Pioneer Panthers are hosting the Greenfield Green Wave for a league game. Greenfield coming into this game with a 2-1 record. Pioneer with an 0-2 record early on in the season, hence the wind and tough weather. But if you were with us on Monday, it's just truly a blessing to not see snowflakes blowing past my camera lens. So, you know what? I will take the 14-mile-an-hour gusts of wind. Of course, that wind is blowing right out to me here in deep left corner of foul territory. So keeping that in mind, as things progress through this game, the wind has been mostly blowing in this direction. We'll see how that will affect the batting and other portions of the game. And of course, my name is Tyler Borbo, bringing the play-by-play action for this game. So happy to have you with us. Whether you're watching from the Greenfield area, watching from the Pioneer Valley Regional School District area, or just family and friends or concerned parties abroad, so happy to have you with us. So happy to bring this broadcast to you. And it looks like Pioneer is finishing things up, and they will be on their way very soon. Evan Tippanyuk on the hill for the Panthers. And starting things off is Brody Burke. Brody Burke is the shortstop for the Greenfield Green Wave. And looks like the ball sent into foul territory. Drops in, no one's able to get to it in time. So I believe that will bring the count to 1-1 for Brody Burke. And if things are a little bit delayed on the equipment, largely because with my own two hands, I'm holding on to the camera, hoping the wind does not blow it over. And I apologize, I didn't see the call on that one. And fouled down the third baseline. So we're looking at a good protection, 1-2 count. That ball comes in on the outside. Count goes 2-2. And fouled away into the parking lot. Thankfully landing in a place where there are no vehicles. I think there's this big empty space that's relatively close to the field. I think people have learned about that danger zone. But Burke doing a good job protecting. Count is still 2-2. And the count goes full. Tippanyuk really hoping for that north-south curve to drop into the strike zone. And a little bit high inside. Gets Burke the walk. He'll head to first base. Next, Connor Bergeron. And a quick steal by Burke. Gets him into scoring position with no outs. Connor Bergeron, the pitcher, is going to be the starting pitcher for the Green Wave. that one was right in there. Nice pitch by Evan Tipeniuk. I think it might be a 2-1 count. See the runner with the lead on second. Ball grounded over to second base. Muse throws it over to O.C. Ballard. Gets the quick out. But that also means Burke advances. So with a runner on third, 1 out, that is going to bring up Chase Zronig. Zronig pumps one into outfield, finds the gap between left and center. That's going to head all the way over to the fence, drive in the first runner, and he is going to slow things up with a stand-up double. Beautiful hit by Chase Zronig. Nice job in a first pitch drive into the outfield. Ooh. Last. Apologize, that is not the score. There we go. It looked like that was a ball. Zronig with a big lead off second. Ball comes in. Good protection. And on Monday, we were seeing Mauricio Hanono geared up behind the plate. Coach Leopold testing out some of his players in different positions. We got Tad Loud behind the plate. And that one fouled away. Of course, that means other positions being tested out. I mean, we're seeing Aaron Muse at second base. O.C. Ballard taking first base today. Brody Welcome and shortstop. Oh, I had the count absolutely wrong. Nice job. Then that was Luca Ciano. Or Ciano, excuse me. Luca Ciano. So it's 2 down, runner on second. And if you're hearing that wind, that is what we're dealing with out here. That is just blowing at full blast. Well, it's April, and I have no idea what the count is. And a crank foul, and that is by Yuri Jenis. You'll be seeing him playing first base once Pioneer gets their bottom of the first. And another one fouled away. I'm sure there's more to the count than 0-2. I'll take a peek and make sure I'm caught up with that. Oh, no, 0-2. 0-2 for Jenis. That's a big connection, pumped into left field and snagged by Hodis Hayfield Gerard. Closing out the inning. Greenfield puts 1 on the board, but they're held to just 1. So Pioneer gets their first at bat. We're looking at Tad Loud leading things off, Evan Tipeniuk, Brody Welcome, O.C. Ballard. We're going to take a short break, check out our sponsors, and we'll be right back with Pioneer First at Bat right here on BNC TV. Bottom of the first inning. Greenfield puts one on the board, draws first blood with a big RBI driven in by Chase Zoronig. Pioneer has their turn. Getting things started off is Tad Loud. He's catching for the Panthers this game. He was playing second base on Monday. And puts one down on the ground, scooped up by shortstop and thrown over. Makes quick work of the base runner. But nice job getting the contact. There's one down. Good fielding by the Greenfield Green Wave. Next up for the Panthers is Evan Tipeniuk. Saw him pitching on the hill earlier. Also, Evan Tipeniuk, you definitely saw him pitch last year. Definitely had some promising skills that we were looking forward to seeing more of this year. Oh, 2. And foul down the third baseline. Tipeniuk, good job protecting. And sent towards the outside for ball 1. And of course, you're seeing Connor Bergeron starting things off on the mound for the Greenfield Green Wave. To the outside, but Tipeniuk gets a hold of it, goes over to shortstop, throws it in, and gets the out. Good connection, but great fielding and good coordination by the infield defense. That's 2 down. Both were hit over to Brody Burke at shortstop. Next up, Brody Welcome. If I said Brody Burke, I apologize. It's Bodie. Bodie Burke. Ooh, and it looked like Brody Welcome really wanted that one. Good cut. Ooh, goes down swinging, and that is it for the first inning. Oh, we're getting into the second inning. When we come back, we got Nico Sayano, Sam Bacala, Malik Moore, and the rest of the batting order coming up for the Greenfield Green Wave. Don't go anywhere. More varsity baseball action coming your way right here on BNC TV. Welcome back, folks. Starting things off for the top of the second inning, Nico Sayano. Big foul crank at the left field side. And told not to try. That ball went over the backstop. Through strictly fouls, Sayano gets behind with 0-2. Ball one for Sayano. Tipiniuk, no doubt, not wanting to put anything too plainly in the strike zone. Cranked over towards third base. Caught up by Jacoby Stumpo and thrown over. And called safe. Looks like to protect the throw, Ballard had to step off the bag. Keep a hand on that, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. That ball's coming over, so runner on first. Now up to bat for the Green Wave, Sam Bacala. Ball comes in high. And it's quite windy today. Down to the dirt. And a throw over to first. Keep the base runner honest. It looks like a timeout was called just to kind of fix up some belongings. Ball went foul. Sayano with a lead on first. Be honest, it's got to be at least 1-2. I apologize. I'm trying to keep track. And caught looking. Bacala goes down. That's one out for the Panthers. Sayano still at first. That's going to bring up Malik Moore. It's the center fielder for the Green Wave. Fielded up by Stumpo, thrown over to second. Looking at turning two. Felt a little bit too risky to turn it through. Give the hitter second base on an error, but getting the lead is a great job. 2 down with a new runner on first, Malik Moore. Nice job with the fielding. Stumpo to Aaron Muse. And Arthur Fitzpatrick with a hit, drops just foul in the right field area. But nice idea. That would have been the kind of ball that would drop and give plenty of time for Malik Moore on first to make his way over to third base. And good idea. Tipiniuk checks on the runner. We'll get stealing second. Slides in there. Fitzpatrick fouls it away. Apologize, the count is completely wrong. Let's hope I can see the umpire put it up. Ball fouled out of play. Fitzpatrick staying alive. Two and two for Arthur Fitzpatrick, second baseman for the Green Wave. And count is going to go full with a pitch down in the dirt. And ball, beautiful job. Looks like that was a line drive. Could barely get the camera there in time. Aaron Muse snags that drive, closes out the inning. Excellent, excellent job by Aaron Muse. Well, and that is it for the top of the second inning. Greenfield, nothing else added to the board. See if Pioneer could tie things up at the bottom of the second. We are looking at O.C. Ballard, Aaron Muse, Mauricio Honono, and Hayden Gerard. The first four in the lineup for the bottom of the second inning. We're going to take a short break, check out our wonderful local sponsors. Without them, this broadcast would not be possible. And we'll be back in just a moment. You're watching Varsity Baseball right here on BNC TV. Back, folks. Nice pitch just inside the strike zone. Strike one. Connor Bergeron still pitching heat. Ballard fouls it away. This is O.C. Ballard, first baseman for the Panthers. Good eye by Ballard. And good connection, driven into the outfield. That's going to shoot over the center fielder into the fence. O.C. Ballard is going to head over towards second base for a stand-up double. O.C. Ballard, first runner on base for the Panthers. And with no outs, Pioneer has the scoring run in, or tying run, excuse me, in scoring position. Beautiful hit by O.C. Ballard. And a new student this year. It's been a wonderful addition to the program. Strike one for Aaron Muse. Muse looks to bunt, but it looks like it was fouled away, or not exactly sure how it had happened, but anytime the bat is brought forward for a bunt, it's going to be a strike. So an 0-2 count on Muse. And knocked over towards the pitcher. And O.C. Ballard taken out with Greenfield going after the lead runner. Which puts Muse on first. And looks like a tough recovery by the second baseman. All runners are safe. Pioneer has runners on first and second. And that was by Mauricio Hinono. Just going to bring up center fielder Hayden Gerard. Gerard bunts it down the first baseline. Oh, what a great idea. I think no doubt Hayden Gerard was hoping to bunt that down the first baseline, have the first baseman go after it, and all he needed to do was beat his own bunt down the baseline, and he would have been safe at first. I think that was a strike. So now Otis Gerard looking at an 0-2 count. Makes a connection, fouls it backwards over the backstop, staying alive. Ball goes inside, 1-2 count. And with a big cut by Hayden Gerard, goes down swinging. Nice pitch by Connor Bergeron. 2 outs, 2 runners on base. So we got to bat Mike Sajowski. Mikey Sajowski, one of our seniors. Sajowski, the designated hitter. Ball popped up. Looks like it's coming down towards second base. And manages to get the out. And with a couple runners on base, Greenfield gets themselves out of a tough inning. Potential losing the lead with 2 runners on the base, but they maintain the lead. This is a 1-0 ball game as we go into the third inning. We got a lot more baseball action coming your way. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, more of this varsity baseball action. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Greenfield vs. Pioneer on BNC TV. Welcome back. Top of the third inning. Greenfield with a 1-run lead over the Panthers. As we're back to the top of the batting order for the Green Wave. Bodie Burke, shortstop for the Green Wave, starting things off. Pumped into left field. They're going to give chase. There's no way they're going to get to that. Ball is back near the fence, but a beautiful throw by center fielder Hodis Gerard gets the ball in there. And Bodie Burke is 2 for 2. Burke was walked. But I think this was the hit that he wanted at his previous at-bat. So with a runner on second, it's going to bring up Connor Bergeron. Ball 1 for Bergeron. And just on the outside, 2-0. Looked like Bergeron just had a little bit of hesitation on that and almost looked like he didn't want to swing as he was swinging at that one. But 2-1 on Connor Bergeron. And a timeout is called. Down in the dirt. The runner remains on second. Three and 1 count for Connor Bergeron. And drops in there. Bergeron gets walked. Runners on first and second. With no outs. And looks for, like, Coach Leopold wants to take a brief moment to talk things over, settle things down, cross a few T's, dot some lowercase J's. And while they're having that meeting, it's a perfect opportunity. If you didn't take the opportunity to go to the bathroom or do any other things during the break in between innings, and you saw some of those local businesses, I'm going to talk about them a little bit. So thankful to have those local businesses. BNC TV partnered up with them, helps us to bring games like this to you, those sponsors that we have for the spring 2026 season for both baseball and softball. Sam Browning Jr. Trucking, Sweet Lucy's Bakeshop, Works LTD, the tree experts, Wiggin Hydroseeding, Zilinksi HVAC, and we got steals over to third and second simultaneously. Both are safe. But my apologies, as I was saying, want to make sure to give the shout outs equally. Wiggin Hydroseeding, Zilinksi HVAC, DiGeorge Builders, and Greenfield Cooperative Bank. So happy to be partnered up with these wonderful local businesses right here in Bernardston-Northfield. Some local companies. And I gotta be honest, I'm having a hard time seeing what happened there. I think the ball had popped a little bit loose. No, it was caught, and then they were trying to get the tag up. But it looks like one of the runs tagged up and ran in. So that is another one on the board for... All right. Sorry, playing catch up. Looks like it was line drive over towards second base. That was caught. And trying to get the tag up at second. Didn't happen, but the runner did tag up on third and then took off for home. And that is why there's a second run for Greenfield. And with a drop ball at the catcher, second base runner is now on third. Ball hit big into right field. Tommy Cleary's there, gets the catch, tosses it in, but that gives enough room to drive the other runner in, clearing the bases. Greenfield is up by 3. But 2 down. Looking at Yuri Jenis. Stepping up to bat. And tried to pull back on that one, but with the bat just enough forward. We got a 1-1 count. Fouled away into the parking lot. Yuri Jenis, first baseman for the Green Wave, with a 1-2 count. Pitch comes in high, 2-2. And of course, during this time, the Lady Panthers varsity softball team again fouled into the parking lot. Jenis stays alive. The Lady Panthers on the road, hosted by McCann Tech. They should have a game going on right at about the same time. Of course, wish them the best with that game. Another one fouled to the backstop. Jenis doing a great job of protecting his strike zone. Let's see if he can get the bat on the ball and see what will happen. Things remain 2-2. Ball comes in very high, and the count goes full. Janice makes a connection, drives the ball way into the back. And good back to the warning track, but Hayden Gerard back there to snag that ball. Good backtracking by Gerard. And he closes out the inning. Greenfield puts 2 more on the board. Driving in 2, one with a sacrifice fly. And another one with, I guess I would describe it as a tag-up score from third during a line drive catch, infield catch. Very interesting play. Of course, you can go back and check that out if you're watching this on YouTube, even if you're watching it live. Watch it frame by frame. But we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, bottom of the 3rd inning, we got Tommy Clary, and then back to the top of the batting order for the Panthers. Don't go anywhere. More baseball action coming your way on BNC TV. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Tommy Clary with a surprise bunt. Looks like the ball had a little bit of English, put itself foul. Boy, that's always tough. You never want to lose that element of surprise on a bunt because the ball rolls foul. And good cut, gets a connection on the ball, fielded by second base. And 1 down. Good fielding by Arthur Fitzpatrick. Over to Yuri Janis. That's 1 down. Pioneer back to the top of the batting order. Got Tad Loud coming in. Loud has done a great job catching for the Panthers. And strike on the outside corner. 1-1 count for Loud. Oh, and I suppose I was way off on the count. Looks like the ball was dropped on the 3rd strike. So that first one was not a ball. Excuse me. No shade to the umpire, but wish he would hold his hands up just a little bit higher so I could see that count. And after all, looking at it from the camera all the way out in center field. But I believe that is a strike. And this is Evan Tippanyuk back up at bat. And a fairly outside strike there. Could have gone either way. Tippanyuk drives one in foul territory. Just past the third base coach. Ball. 1-2 count for the Panther pitcher. Nice one, got a good enough amount of elevation to get past the shortstop. An easy grab into left field. Nice hit for Evan Tippanyuk. Keeps the Panthers alive in the bottom of the third with an outfield single. That brings up shortstop Brody Welcome. All fouled out to the parking lot. And with a little bit of English on that, the ball drifts to the outside. 1-1 count for Welcome. Another one sent to the parking lot. Ball comes to the outside again. Count goes 2-2. And popped up into shallow right field. Easy snag for Nico Ciano. Closes out the third inning. Pioneer has had base runners, but yet to put anything on the board. Greenfield still leading by 3 as we go into the fourth inning. We'll take a short break, take a peek at our sponsors, and we'll be right back before you know it with more of this baseball action. You're watching Panther Baseball here on BNC TV. Top of the fourth inning. Greenfield leading by 3. Let's see, I do think things ended with Yuri Jenis again, if I'm not mistaken. So that would mean this is Nico Ciano. Ciano made that inning-ending catch towards the end of the last inning. looks like another one sent deep into center field. And Gerard having a tough time getting to it. And Nico Sayano with a double. You know, I gotta say, it is a tough act when you're making your run backwards, trying to size things up. And the way you're hearing the wind blowing into the microphone right now, I mean, that is only a small portion of what it's like being out here and seeing the trajectory change on the ball. And no doubt, that was quite a rainmaker that Sayano pumped out to center field. And I have a feeling that with some of these gusts that were blowing, it was really hard to judge where that ball was going while it was hanging in the air. But Gerard kept it in front of him and got it in as fast as he could. And doing a great job out there in center field. My apologies. It's 0-2. And this is Sam Bacala. Bacala goes down swinging. 1 out. Evan Tippanyuk doing a great job. He's throwing some good pitches. A few of the batters seem to have the pitching figured out. A lot of cranks into the outfield. And that ball fouled away. This is Malik Moore. Oh, nice cut. Count goes 0-2 for Moore. Knocked up into shallow right, but easy snag for Aaron Muse. That's 2 down. My apologies. We got a runner on second. And that's going to bring up Arthur Fitzpatrick. Sounds like there was contact. Ball got away towards the backstop. So foul ball. 0-1 count for Fitzpatrick. Ball sent up towards the foul line. And it's called a foul ball. Clary making a big run for that ball. And to be honest, I'm convinced, no doubt, the wind had a part to play in that one as well. So Fitzpatrick with an 0-2 count. Runner on second, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 4th inning. Ball comes in high. 1-2. And another one, 2-2. Fouled away. Fitzpatrick staying alive. And with 2 down and the runner on second. Tippeniuk really looking to throw some fooling pitches in there, hoping that ball drops into the strike zone. And popped up into center field. Gerard with the snag, getting Pioneer out of the 4th inning. And with a runner left on second base, no additional damage has been done. Game still remains a 3-0 game as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Don't go anywhere. The meat of the batting order still to come. We got O.C. Ballard, Aaron Muse, Mauricio Hanono, and Hodis Gerard coming up for Pioneer in the bottom of the 4th inning. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Bottom of the 4th inning. O.C. Ballard leading us off. O.C.'s last at bat drove one deep towards the center field fence. And just inside for a strike. And Ballard goes down. I was super behind in the count. Excuse me. Ballard goes down. 1 out. Next up to bat, we got Aaron Muse. Muse, if I remember correctly, took first on a bunt last at bat. But he's had an incredible game at second base. One particular line drive catch, a crucial catch at that. And foul to the backstop. 2-1 count for Aaron Muse. Excuse me, I was wrong on the count again. Muse goes down swinging. That's 2 down. Connor Bergeron continues with some great pitching. Ball comes in low. This is Mauricio Hanono. Driven right through, snagged up by the second baseman. And just like that, 1, 2, 3 brings a close to the 4th inning. Greenfield managing to stave off most of the base running, and if anyone on base, nothing put on the board yet by the Panthers. As we go into the top of the 5th inning, Greenfield with a 3-run lead. Let's see what they have coming their way. Bottom of the batting order for the Green Wave. We'll see what happens at the top. Don't go anywhere. More baseball action coming your way on BNC TV. Ball fouled away. All over the place. Popped up over towards second base. Aaron Muse makes quick work of it for the first out. Fouled away. It's at least a 1-on-1 count. 1-2. And nice snag by the first baseman, all OC, putting that one away. Rainier's got 2 down very quickly. And I guess we were at the top of the batting order, excuse me, for the Green Wave, which means first batter was Bodie Burke, and that was Connor Bergeron with the last at bat. So that brings up Chase Zronig. Zronig has 1-1 on him. Well sent up. That's back to the fence. Cleary fields it, gets the ball in there. Drawnick stands up into second base. A fantastic hit. 2 down. Runner on second. That's going to bring up the cleanup. Catcher, Luca Ciano. Ball drops into the outside. 1-0 count. And time is called. Ball sent over towards shortstop. Picked up by Brody Welcome. And a great scoop by O.C. Ballard. Gets that third out. And closes out the top of the 5th inning with no extra damage done. Greenfield not putting anything on since the 3rd inning. But game remains a 3-0 game as we go into the bottom of the 5th inning. Don't go anywhere. We got the bottom of the Pioneer lineup with Jacoby Mike Syhowski, Tommy Cleary, and then back to the top of the batting order. Don't go anywhere. More baseball action coming your way. Bottom of the 5th inning. Oh, excuse me. Final out was not by Hodis Gerard. He's leading things off, sends a grounder over to third base. And with a textbook fielding, that is 1 down. Now it brings up Mike Syhowski. Syhowski with a good connection sends it over towards shortstop. Shortstop having a rough time on the scoop, and Syhowski on base. Nice job with the bat on the ball and good hustle. Pioneer, 1 down, runner on first. Stepping up to bat, Tommy Cleary, right fielder for the Panthers. And good bat on the ball, drops into shallow. Right field. Looks like there was good placement there. Managed to get the out over at second base. So runner remains on first. And 2 down. And of course, that is a difficult situation when you have a ball that's technically a fly ball. And beautiful hit out into left field along the foul line. We got ourselves a base hit. Runners on first and second. And of course, that was Tad Loud with the latest hit. We got Loud on first. Cleary on second. And good snag by Bergeron. Sends it on over to first base and closes things out. And that is it for the 5th inning. Pioneer. Each batter getting their bats going. Looks like they've kind of cracked the code on Bergeron. And we'll see what happens in the bottom of the 6th. But right now, Green Wave up to bat. We're looking at, I believe, Nico Ciano, Sam Bacala, Malik Moore. Bottom half of the batting order. Don't go anywhere. More baseball action coming your way in just a moment. welcome back. Hey, we actually have audio. Apologize about that. Top of the 7th inning. Looking at Yuri Jenis leading things off with a big crank into left field for a base hit. Good retrieval by Hanono. Holds him to a single. Well, if you're as annoyed as I am with the technical and graphical mistakes, many hands make light work. Beansy TV would like to talk to you about some volunteers to help make this program happen. The more we have out here, the more that can cover a camera and make sure I'm not making bonehead mistakes, such as having an entire inning muted. Well, with Jenis on first, that's going to bring up Nico Ciano. Ciano has at least one strike with a foul. And another one fouled away towards the Pioneer bench. It's 2-2 for Ciano. Big hit into center field. Driving things back. Gerard is going to have to chase that back towards the fence. Jenis is rounding third. And slows it up as they get the ball in. And that's going to hold Ciano to a double. But a fantastic hit. Our runners in scoring position. And with no outs, runners on second and third. Next up to bat, Sam Bacala. My apologies. I think we, yes, we do. We have another pitcher. The ball gets passed. It's going to drive in another run. So runners advance. We got Ciano on third, and that drove in Jenis. Well, let's see, with Hayden Gerard now pitching. Ball comes to the outside, and that means Evan Tippanyuk on first. Flies away, 3-0 count. Looks like we might have O.C. Ballard over at third. And another one down in the dirt. Runners on the corners. Ball sent into the field. And with a tough recovery, that's bases loaded. there are a lot of changes. Let's see. O.C. Ballard moved over to third base, which pushed Jacoby Stumpo over to second. And in their first strike. And I think that puts Aaron Muse maybe at center field. Ball popped up into right field. Tommy Cleary is getting underneath it, makes the snag. Now the runners on second and first advance. The one on third does. And with a nice sacrifice fly into deep right field, Greenfield pushes up to an 8-0 ball game. Goes away on the outside. Two balls for, I believe that's Bodie Burke. Back to the top of the order. And, of course, that means I was unable to notice if we have Bryce Zaranig on second base. That means he was a pinch hitter. Doing what I can to catch up on the numbers. Well, it is Malik Moore on first, so this could be another substitute. And that is another walk. Base is now loaded with one out. That was Brody Burke. Okay. And Connor Bergeron now batting. Strike one. And with 6 o'clock coming up, I should warn on the cable live broadcast that this game will be pushed. I'll describe that in a moment. Nice out at second. Another runner driven in. It's a 9-run ball game. We got runners on the corners. And now up to bat. Chase Zaranig puts that up towards the Pioneer bench. No one is able to get to that one. But what I was describing is the YouTube live stream will continue, but our broadcast coming up at 6 p.m. PVRSD School Committee will be having their monthly meeting in the Pioneer Library. We'll be bringing that to you at 6 p.m. Zoronik sends it deep. Goes down and into the fence. Retrieved by Hanono. Gets it in quick. And another run driven in. These runners are held on third and second. Now up to bat, Luca Ciano. Fouled down the left field line. Ball driven into deep center field. Nice run and snag by, I think, Aaron Muse. Yes, it is Aaron Muse with a great snag in center field. I was correct on the different positions that were made in order to switch pitchers. But they close out that inning, but not without Greenfield doing a little extra damage. It's a 10-run ball game. Greenfield with a commanding lead as we go into the bottom of the 7th inning. Don't go anywhere. Final at bat for the Panthers coming right up in a moment. Welcome back. Bottom of the 7th inning with no outs, actually, and no count. Starting things off, Mauricio Hanono playing left field today for the Panthers. No, knocks one into right field. And good placement by Nico Ciano. Gets the first out. Hayden Girard now batting. What a wild one. I think I saw 3-0. And Gerard walked with 3 consecutive balls. One out, runner on first. Next up to bat is Mike Syhowski. Good eye on Syhowski. Syhowski pops it up. And a good snag by the third baseman. And it's 2 down. Gerard remains on first. Panthers down to their last out. Stepping up to bat, Tommy Clary. He's done a fantastic job this game out in right field. Gerard successfully takes second base. Clary pulled the bunt, so that will be in 1 strike for him. A little high, 1-1 count. Swinging through, 1-2. And ball bunted forward. And the final out made for an unsuccessful bunt. That will bring a close to the game. Well, the bats were working on both ends. Just Pioneer had a tough time putting it in good places. Greenfield comes away with a win for this game, 10-0. And as I said, bats were going on both ends. Greenfield, I would say more than half of their hits into the deep outfield. Just really had their bats going, had the strength in there to crank that ball out there and drive the runs in. But good luck to Greenfield. And a tough loss for the Panthers, but it is early on in the season and they are working with things, still figuring things out, trying out different players in different positions, finding out what works. You know, it's a very, very new and very different ball club for Coach Leopold to work with, and it's exciting to see what's going to work and what's going to happen. But the season rolls on regardless, and what I mean by that is you only have so much time to practice and get things, all the skills and the players up to speed and where you want them to be. So it's a work in progress, figuring out who's going to be your pitcher, who's playing in certain positions, and of course working on the batting. So we will see what happens. And as far as upcoming games, let's see, the girls have been on the road all week. And come Monday, of course, weather permitting, we're looking at bringing you at 4 p.m. The Lady Panthers will be right back here at Pioneer Valley Regional High School to host the Franklin Tech Eagles. And that should be an exciting game. It's always exciting when Tech visits. There's a number of students at Tech, and the familiarity with a number of the players is always there, and we'll see what happens with that. But that is it for us here for a windy day here at Pioneer Valley Regional High School baseball field. My name is Tyler Borbo. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you next time.